What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, episode 56, and we are the Nintendo Podcast, a part of the 8-Bit Collective. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and joining me, as always, is my best buddy, Bryce DeWitt.
That's a me.
That's a him. Oh, shit. I've lost my words. Today, we are talking all about the Smash Direct that happened just then.
Yes, it ended maybe 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Man, a lot of stuff in this one. New characters, new stages, lots of new information. I guess we'll just go chronologically throughout the Direct, I guess, and discuss what we think.
Have you got a nice handy list there, boy?
I do have a nice handy list.
Okay.
Well, it's not actually a list. It's not actually a list. I'm just scrolling through the video.
Fair enough. I just want to make mention of something. Jesus Christ, what a Direct, first of all.
Yes, yeah.
It's literally insane how much was revealed during this, and also being made mention that there's potential for more is crazy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to dig right into this with you right now, and as my Smash buddy, let's get into it.
Yeah, Just seeing this again, I hadn't really been thinking much about this game since E3 because I'm just like, all right, shut it down because it's December 7th. It's still a long way away. I can't think about this game because I remember what it was like waiting for Smash Wii U. That's all I can think about for 2 years. I'm not even kidding.
Oh yeah.
So we'll jump right into it. Right off, there was a new character announcement. Simon Belmont from the Castlevania series. I mean, holy shit.
This is massive.
This was leaked. It was sort of leaked before the Direct earlier in the day.
I'm actually almost convinced this was semi-intentional. Mainly because first of all, it creates hype and it gets people watching, right? And then second of all, we expected Simon, right? Simon had to be in there. That was a thing. So just thinking of it from that perspective and being like, hey, Simon's in there, but we'll also throw Richter in there.
Yeah,
which
I
didn't expect. Yeah,
I wasn't expecting a character straight afterwards. That was really awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, this way you can appeal to two types of Castlevania fans, because Simon Belmont is obviously, he's classic as classic can get for Castlevania.
Yeah. And,
everything about him is, when you think of the first Castlevania, you think of Simon Belmont.
Yeah.
That is just, he's the personification of that series. Everybody knows what his sprite looks like. He's an orange dude that walks like a robot for some reason. And he whips his whip around. That whip is so iconic. Oh yeah, shit, yeah, it's iconic. It's crazy iconic. And then on the other hand, you've got Richter, who's actually appeared as the main character in several of the Castlevanias at this point. Maybe about 2 or 3 of them. It's not quite several, but you know what I mean. Yeah. But Richter has a lot of personality in comparison to Simon, because obviously Simon was the first Belmont in the timeline of Castlevania games, but Richter has a bit more personality because he's been in the more modern ones. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was excited to see both of them in there. I didn't I kind of expected an echo, I guess. But you know what? You've got the brutishness of Simon Belmont. You've got the charmingness of Richter. So there you go.
Yeah. Does Richter have the whip? I didn't actually notice in the...
Yeah. Most of the Belmont family survive off that whip. The whip is their weapon. It's something that's just been handed down through Belmont generations. So, Richter naturally uses it as well, which is pretty much what I expected when his charming face showed up.
Yeah, I'm not that... I haven't really played much Castlevania myself, but I've seen heaps of gameplay of it and heaps of heaps of podcasts and that talking about it. So I'm quite happy that it's in here. The characters look fun. How you can like sort of use the whip, like you can just like freely move it around. That'll be really interesting to see how you can use that.
Well,
because yeah, you're going. Sorry.
See the whip moving. That was like that. It just reminds me of Sheik's before they got rid of it. I think it's a good thing that like obviously the way they described it is pretty much how you would want those characters to go. Like their basic attack is the whip.
Yep.
It's slower, and it was in Castlevania as well. Like if you didn't in Castlevania 1, it had a 2-frame animation.
Yep.
When you're using the whip, so you actually had to sort of plan your like precast your attacks before hitting something. Otherwise, you just get hit. And it was the real Castlevania was the real first foray in going, hey, like, if you don't, well, sorry, I'm all kinds of messed up thinking about this whole entire thing. It was their first foray. Like, we really want to make it feel like a realistic attack pattern.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So knowing that they're doing the same in Smash and keeping that as a thing, you've got the like the special items that you can collect through your quest, the cross, the axe, the holy water. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it looks like if you play those characters, you're going to feel like you're playing Castlevania. Which is perfect. That's perfect. It's exactly what it needed to be. Yeah,
no, for sure. And like, I think what impressed me even more than the two characters was actually the stage. Just how much they've packed into the stage, having all the iconic enemies come out as sort of like enemies you verse on the stage. That's really impressive. And also like just the small things like hitting the candles and getting the items out of it, like you would in the games. Because that's a huge gameplay factor in Castlevania. You're jumping around, just swinging your whip, hitting candles, hitting lamps, just hoping you get some health from them.
Look, I would not have it any other way. Like, the fact that there's all the bosses there, and then, from the looks of it, and they tried to show it off, with your occasional Dracula drop, and Dracula ends up on the stage, they made it very clear that his weakness is still his weakness, and it's his only weakness, and that's his head. Because they had all the characters trying to charge through him and do damage, it was doing nothing, so it's still the head. If you want to beat Dracula, you still got to hit that head, so... they've done a really perfect sort of representation, in my opinion, for both characters and the stage. It's going to be so cool going to that stage and just versing off against the bosses, whether it be Death or Dracula himself or the several other ones that were in the fray there.
Yeah,
I'm really keen for it.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of just the music from Castlevania 2, so having 34 tracks from the series is like that's a lot just for like a third party franchise in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
I got no idea how much Sonic songs and Metal Gear songs are in the game, but I assume there's nowhere near 34. That's a fair bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So before we push on, we had a neat little idea where we would because everybody's active on the Discord right now, where we would tell people to post stuff on Weekly Topic, and we'll just sort of have a live feed of stuff going through here, and I think we should just read them out bit by bit as we go through each thing.
Yep, that sounds good.
So right. the entry point of this topic was, okay, new picks for characters. Delfino Durians, original character Bandana Waddle Dee. Echo, Shadow the Hedgehog. Metadox says, I'm assuming this is for the next Smash announcement. And then Delfino Durians replies, assist, annoying dog.
Yeah, because there were a lot of characters that got revealed as assist trophies where people, like, just in the Twitch chat were like, no! There was like Shovel Knight, Knuckles, a few characters like that where people are like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah, I'm sad to see that Shovel Knight won't make the roster, but, I mean, just Shovel Knight being in there is huge.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's a huge kick for Shovel Knight. That game is so incredible, and when it came out, it received so much praise, and it deserves it. Shovel Knight's fantastic.
Yeah, because people were saying earlier, like, I hope the protagonist from Dead Cells makes it in there. I think it was Metadox who said that. And I said, oh, well, I doubt it because, the game literally just come out. And if there was any indie game to make it to Smash Bros, it's going to be, Shovel Knight.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because of his history with Nintendo launching on there first and being like an indie darling, yeah.
And the amiibo.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a huge sign. Everyone thought he was coming to Smash when the amiibo got announced originally.
Yeah, for Brawl. For Brawl for Smash 4. But I mean, I don't mind. He's in there in some form, and that's fine by me. I'm perfectly cool with that. Obviously, when you're talking character announcements, something big like the two Belmonts that we got today, like that takes precedence.
Yeah.
They're obviously working really hard to get the best character reveals out as they possibly can. We've got Ridley, we've got the two Belmont brothers, and we've also got something that we'll talk about later on. Obviously, if you've watched the direct, you already know what it is, but if you haven't, then you'll be hearing about it later.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the next character, or next Echo announced. Chrom finally is joining Super Smash Brothers. Finally.
Yeah. Finally.
Is he an echo of Marth and Lucina, or was he?
I don't think so, because his up B is Aether.
Okay, so he might be an Ike echo then, is he?
No, I don't think he is an Ike echo because he's also still got Blade Dance. I actually think he's a combination echo.
Huh.
Because he does use Aether, which is something that neither Marth or Lucina can use. And he also uses Blade Dance, which is something that Ike can't use. So maybe he's a combination between the both, which in some sort of term that makes him an original character, which I expect no less. Do you know what I mean?
Well, did they actually come out and say that he's an echo?
Yes.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. I think what they've done is they're like, well, if we make Chrom too much like Lucina and Marth, then it's just a cop-out because we've already got an Echo. So what they did is they took half a move set from each of the character sets, and then they've worked with that.
Yeah.
Which I think is perfectly fine. Like, Chrom deserved his own slot since the beginning.
Yeah, definitely.
Fire Emblem Awakening was such a massive game, and it saved the series from death. A lot of people were disappointed that it was Lucina that was getting the slot instead.
Yeah, well, I mean, they both deserved the slot, but having Chrom not make it just felt kind of weird, actually, in the last game, so...
Yeah, it did. Especially since we got Robin.
Yeah.
But I still can't knock it back and be like, hey, him being an Echo is bad and he should be his own character, because I feel like if they're going to go down this route and they're going to have moves from Ike and moves from Marth to mesh together and make a different character, I think that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I was a bit worried because, like, really, we don't need another Marth Echo, do we? So,
No, absolutely not. We don't need another Marth.
No.
I've been playing a lot of Smash 3DS, and I've been experimenting with Lucina and Marth, and
yep.
I couldn't imagine any other way they could add a third Marth.
Yeah, like, because I'll be really happy if he's a Ike Echo, because Ike's one of the characters I use. So if I get a different variation on using Ike, like as probably Chrom, who I probably prefer as a character, I can't wait for that.
He would definitely not be a full Ike Echo. I think he's going to be.
Yeah, it looks like he's not. So,
I think he's slightly slower. From what I can tell, he's slightly slower than Marth and Lucina, but he carries over some of the traits of Ike in moves like Ether.
Yeah,
which, again, I'm cool with. I'm cool with having. I'm cool with having a mixed move set. I think that's a cool idea. I think that's something that we haven't gotten before. So that works for me.
Yeah,
I think it does Chrom enough justice anyway.
Yeah, looking forward to playing him. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, hell yeah.
Just give it to me. Next up, they announced Dark Samus, which a lot of people were asking for. So it's good to see Dark Samus in here, I guess.
No, this is interesting. This one, because I don't feel like Dark Samus is needed in the same form that they're portraying it in. They're like, hey, we're gonna make Dark Samus an Echo, but I mean, there's a skin that makes you Dark Samus, right? Like, I know that Echoes behave differently, but I don't know. I'm perfectly fine with Dark Samus being in there. I'm not about to complain. I'm pretty sure I linked you a video the other day where Mewtwo King, which is a professional Smash player, had made a demo tier list just for fun. And apparently, like, some of the mechanics that made Samus half decent in Smash 4 are no longer present. So maybe Dark Samus will save Samus from that meta. I don't know.
Okay, so what have they gotten rid of in the new game? So I haven't actually watched the video.
I can't remember exactly what he said. He just said the up A is like less power. The aerial side A is less powerful, and it's harder to combo with now. Just stuff that makes Samus a typical pick. Like the typical Samus combo for extra damage is if you can grab your opponent, smack him a couple times, slam him into the ground, and then side air A. It was like a surefire combo. You'd always hit it, and it would do maybe 23 damage.
All right.
Something like that. They've just nerfed stuff like that on Samus, and at the moment, just from two professional Smash players' opinion, she's the weakest character in the roster that's playable on the demo.
Yeah, that sounds a bit disappointing because I know like Bayonetta's way overpowered now and whatever, but like when the game initially came out, that game was really well balanced, at least from what I could tell. So hopefully by the time the game comes out with its probably 70 characters, it's going to be well balanced.
I mean, it is 70 characters, right? Like,
well,
Jesus.
it's not quite just yet, but like if you count Echoes, it will be. They're not counting Echoes.
If you count Echoes, it is, I think. Right?
Yeah.
It was 65, and then we got 5 today.
Yeah. So it is pretty cool too how you can turn off the Echoes and they can just be like swappable in the actual.
I think that's
main
awesome.
Character. Yeah, that's good. I'll probably have it. I'll have it so I just got them all showing. I think, but
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'll do it honestly, because honestly, there's Echoes that I just prefer using, or I won't use at all, simply because their counterpart's the better pick. I could maybe see myself switching between Lucina and Marth, simply because of the way their sword axe is completely different.
Yeah.
Peach and Daisy, I don't know what the difference is there. In the end, like, there's a lot more Echo characters this time around, obviously, so I suppose it depends on how they play.
I really like the idea of them introducing the Echo characters, though, so that they can fit more characters in, like ones that you want.
For sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're right. I'm gonna read some more comments in the Discord while we're sitting here, and we've just talked about the Echoes. So, we got Mr. Jamie Penny here.
Yeah.
He says, "How on earth does this game fit in such a tiny cartridge?" Good question, Jamie. No idea.
Yeah, so it's about 16 gig, the game.
This game is huge, man.
So when they actually announced that it's 16 gig, I'm like, oh, so you guys actually know how big the game's going to be. Like, I guess they've pretty much finished it.
I think, they've got most of it done.
They're just balancing and patching and...
Well, see, I think the main garb is, like, they've done all the stages. The stages are obviously, like, really rich on file size. The characters are probably a little less so.
Yeah.
But they would have, like, an almost finalized roster with characters. And just saying it's 16 gigabyte, that's not an actual file size, it's an estimate. Yeah. So at the moment, their current final build, their alpha, is probably about 16 gig.
I can't remember exactly what they said, but I think what they meant is like the file you're going to download, the final game will be 16 gig, but doesn't matter. So all up, there's going to be, was it 103 stages? Well, that's crazy.
103. Like, they had a chart shown for this because they were like, hey, let's compare how many stages were in like the previous games. Like, it has doubled the stages of Wii U.
Yeah, so the original Super Smash Bros. Had 9, Melee had 29, Brawl had 41, Smash Bros. For 3DS had 42, Smash Bros. For Wii U had 56, and now this one has 103. Which is crazy. It's
mental.
And the 3DS and Wii U stages are including the DLC as well.
Yep, yeah, for sure, yeah.
So the fact this has almost double, including their DLC.
Mm-hmm.
So there's at least like 40 so brand new stages in the Ultimate version, then the rest are brought over from 3DS, Wii U, Brawl, Melee, Smash Bros. Original.
I mean, it would have, yeah. I think the stage count. I actually think the stage count won't be huge for original stages.
No,
they've put a massive emphasis on like everybody likes all these classic stages, so let's just do a shit ton of them, right? And they're easy to put together. They're easy to put in the game, and nobody's going to complain with those stages back. They're all going to be happy about it, so might as well we reuse them, right? Like, there's no point in saying nah. And if they could fit it on that cartridge, then yeah, I'll take it, right?
And I like the idea too that you can like merge them together. You can select two, then they sort of, as the game progresses, you can sort of swap between them. That looked lots of fun too.
Yeah, for sure. I like that the stage switch thing.
Yeah,
that thing was cool.
You can turn off stage hazards, so you can still have the stage without turning it into Final Destination or Battlefield.
I love that,
which is great too. So you can play the Mega Man stage just how it is. You can play like whatever else, the Fire Emblem one without all the stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's certainly turning out to be like it makes me wonder if this is a siren song for poor Sakurai. Because this game is actually it's going nuts.
It does look like it though. It looks like he's just like, you know, about to drop the mic and just go on a holiday.
This is the smash you're getting. This is the smash that you all want. I'm outie. See you later.
I'm outie, yeah. Well, like, interviews during E3, they had the option of, you know, redoing like the game from the complete ground up, or they can build off, you know, what they've done with the Wii U version and just add to that. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think I prefer this, just like going nuts with the characters, the stages, bringing everything back, just like filling it right up. Because, like, think about how many hours you're going to put into this game just unlocking the characters and playing with one another, taking your Switch around.
Oh, yeah.
Just listening to all the music. That's 28 hours just going, I'm going to listen to the music.
Yeah. No joke. That's so much music.
Yeah, so more than 800 tracks in the game over 28 hours worth of stuff. You can put your Switch in standby mode and just listen to it that way, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to do that. Yeah. I did that a lot with the 3DS.
Yeah. It's a nifty little feature if you just feel like listening to some classic and revamped classic tunes.
Yeah, especially since they probably won't put it on Spotify. So
no.
It's like, hey,
dear Lord,
yeah.
no.
I remember when the 3DS version came out, and I was going around like uTorrent and that, trying to find rips of the soundtrack. Because like if you pre-ordered it, you actually got a free copy of the soundtrack from Club Nintendo, but it was only select like tracks. It wasn't all of them. It was only like 20 tracks out of 100, and so
yeah, something like that. Yeah. And I mean, I got that. But it's still in shrink wrapping. I'm never taking that out.
Okay. I did that for a couple of my Club Nintendo things, but I had to listen to that. But like,
I did it with the Zelda CD too. Sorry, go on.
Like, how many times do you take the CD around though? Like, you can rip it.
No, yeah. It's all digital nowadays, my friend. Like, soon enough, we'll be gaming completely digitally as well. So it's almost pointless. But I suppose if you're just looking for memorabilia, it's a nice thing to have.
Yeah. So they've done a lot of changes to the rules. You can set what comes up straight away instead of just having time, you can set it so it just comes up with stock straight away, so you don't have to change the rules. And they've done some things to stamina battles and sudden death as well. Some changes which we did see during E3.
Yeah, I think it's a welcome change because the counteraction to sudden death before was random bomb drops.
Yeah, that was rough.
Kind of bullshit.
Did they have that in with the Wii U version, the bob-ombs dropping? Because I don't really remember much sudden death in that game.
No, I'm pretty sure they did. Maybe, but like, it's such an inconvenient method to sudden death because there's no skill involved in it at all. It's just like if you're unlucky enough to get hit by a bomb, you're dead.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they've managed to keep it down to a level of like, hey, you're deciding sudden death by who can manage a small close quarters battle better.
Yeah, and it puts emphasis on like hurry the hell up too.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
because like the bob-ombs, like you can't see it until it starts happening. Then it's just like, oh, okay, it happened. I got blown up. Whatever.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Mm. Yeah, and they went over the tournament mode. That looks like it always has. That's actually a feature we never get to use because we don't have like a whole host of people over at once. It's just like us playing. But I'd love to do more of that tournament mode with like 5 people over.
See, I think that's like super handy if you want to put on like, and we did this in the past. You organised the Smash Brawl tournament.
Yeah, at school. Yeah,
at school, and we ended up doing it on the school holidays. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was so much fun on Brawl. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was heaps of fun. It was really great.
Yeah, it was fun.
But it was also you also lost your Smash disc that day.
Did I lose it? Did I? Because I remember...
No, it got damaged.
Yeah, well, one of my friends, because we were using GameCube controllers like professionals, and and one of my friends was being a dipshit, and he was running around, and he ran through the cable, and it just ripped the Wii off the desk. So I lost my SD card with all my Virtual Console games saved on it. It popped out, and I didn't notice at the time, and the disc fucked itself. So I'm like, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, yep. Rest in peace. You had to buy a whole new copy of Smash.
Yeah, that was like my 3rd copy of Smash Bros.
You had 3 of them. I don't know how you had 3.
I don't know why, because you know how it was a double-laid Wii disc, so it's for some reason it scratched easier.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have that much trouble. My copy of Brawl lasted its entire life.
Yeah, I know. Like I was silly because the first time it buggered up is because the Wii was standing up while I had a GameCube controller plugged in.
Right.
So the GameCube controller pulled it, so it went poof, put a scratch in the disc, wouldn't work. All right, cool. So I went to Into Games, which is a local game shop at the time, and they took it in, and since it was double layered, they put it in the machine, and it's only set to a certain depth to buff the disc. So since it was a thicker disc, it just buffed it right down. So it just looked like it was sandpapered. So it wouldn't. Not only did it not say like Super Smash Brothers can't read. It was like putting a blank DVD and it didn't even know what it was. It just.
Oh, I remember that. It just looked awful.
But that's how I got Guitar Hero 3 on the Wii. I got money off. I got $100 off because
they stuffed it.
Yeah, so that was good. And where was I going with that? I completely forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, so next they went through the items, and when they go through the items, Bryce, I'm just like, they look cool, but we're never going to use them, are we?
No, because we're competitive and we like to rely on our skill as the only method.
I don't like saying that necessarily, but.
No, we're competitive with each other.
Yeah, we are, but like I've gotten to the point now where I actually don't find the items that fun. Even if I've got like a bunch of, non-Smash players over, and they're like, "Oh, put the items on them." Okay, I'll put the items on. Put the stage hazards on. I don't find it as fun,
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, like if I want chaos, I'd rather just have eight players rather than 4 players with
smacking at each other. Yeah,
because especially
I definitely feel you.
Like in the Wii U version, we barely played any of the items. We're really unfamiliar with all the items in the game, which is really weird.
Yeah, Yeah.
And a lot of them are that overpowered, like the beetle from Skyward Sword, where you just
that thing's dumb.
you just throw it and it just lifts you up, and you can't really do anything about it. It just KOs you. You're like, oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting, I tell you.
It's something anyway. Oh man. All right, so what's next? Oh, so they went through the Pokemon. We got to see Alolan Executor.
No, that was one of the best moments in the trailer, because I was just like, I guess I was kind of expecting something stupid to happen. But then, like, you see the plump body of Alolan Executor.
Yeah.
And then it just, like, goes all the way up to its dopey ass face.
God, it's got a dumb face, doesn't it?
It was, oh my god, I was just like, holy crap, that's perfect.
I was surprised when Abra come out. I'm like, Abra comes out, it's like, oh, brand new Pokemon in Smash Bros. It's like, oh, Abra's hasn't been in Smash Bros. Oh, well, I guess it hasn't. Yeah. And Mimikyu was absolutely terrifying. It just like swallows you, then it just like destroys you, then it just deflates and lays there.
Oh yeah.
And they shown Ditto at the end. I thought Ditto was the standout for the Pokemon. That was awesome.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Just seeing that alone, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I wonder how the AI controls it, whether it's like just a level 3 CPU or what.
I'm not sure. It'll be like similar to like the 100-man brawl type of, or melee or whatever version you're playing.
The Polygon Fighters.
Yeah, it'd be similar to that, I would assume.
Yeah. I think that's probably the safest bet to assume. Yeah, for sure.
And they went on to the... sorry. You go on.
Yeah, we also went on to the assist trophies. You are correct.
They went on to the assist trophies, shown Zero, shown a lot of things. The one what stands out in my head was Kappa, the bus driver from Animal Crossing. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
How funny is that? That was awesome.
He just like abducts people.
Like they shown off so many. They're like, oh, here's Crystal, here's a Claptrap from Donkey Kong, here's all these like iconic things. Then I just see Cap'n. That's it. And he just like Mario's like, no, just takes him off.
I think there was a lot of potential for awesome ones in there.
Yeah,
which I'm hoping to see, especially with all the new character announcements. We already got like a dash of really cool ones like Death and stuff like that come out, and
yeah,
that was cool. But the big one for me, and also counted as a stage boss, was Rathalos.
Yep.
So,
was it a stage boss, or did he just say boss?
It's a boss, so you can potentially get it from assist trophies, and you can also get it in a specific stage, I believe.
Yeah, because that Monster Hunter stage, it looked almost like something you would expect in a story mode. That's what sort of looked to me. I don't know if I was just thinking about story modes too much when it was sort of leading up to that, but
yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it must be. I assume it's not.
No, probably not. I just know it's like, Monster Hunter's been around on the Nintendo platforms for a long time now.
Yeah.
It didn't get its start there, but we've had so many iterations of Monster Hunter now. It's good to see some kind of representation.
Yeah, and like Monster Hunter, the new game, or not the new game, but Generations comes out later this month on Switch. So
it does in 19 days.
Just quickly, do you think you'll get that?
I want to get it, but
yeah, it's $100, man.
Yeah, $100 is a lot. And Monster Hunter World just came out on PC, so I've got a massive PC upgrade incoming, and I want to like push my PC to its limits. And that game apparently does that.
It'll be cheaper than $100 too, probably on PC. It'd be way cheaper.
It's at the moment you can pre-order it for about $60.
Yeah, see, I cannot justify $100 for that game.
Generations? No.
I can't. Like, I want it. I'll pay $70, $60 for it, but $100, that's $20 more than, like what Nintendo charges for their games, and I don't know why it's $100 instead of $90. But
not with Monster Hunter World dangling itself in your face either. Like, Monster Hunter World is That's an incredible game.
Yeah,
I can vouch for that game. That is an incredible Monster Hunter game,
especially for Switch. Because like I want a Monster Hunter game on Switch because I want it portably, and like I'm willing to sort of downgrade some of the new changes in world for generations, but not for $100. It has to be,
it has to be cheaper.
Way cheaper than that. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go on.
So, I'm excited to see that there is Monster Hunter representation in there. Obviously, there wasn't much that they could do for like an actual character, so I'll take the Rathalos. I'm perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, could you have put like a hunter in there or something? You could have, I guess, but it's not that.
It'd be so generic that it'd probably hurt.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, ever since Monster Hunter World came out, it's just Monster Hunter's dipping its toes in everything lately. Like, I was just saying to you before I started the show, there's a Monster Hunter World collaboration event going on with Final Fantasy XIV, and you've got a boss from Final Fantasy XIV in Monster Hunter World right now, and you've also got the Rathalos in Final Fantasy XIV as a boss.
Yeah.
So, and I said to you, I'm like, how fucking ironic is it that I was streaming last night fighting Rathalos and he appears in my Smash Bros.
He's
today.
going to appear in your house next. He's just appearing everywhere you are.
Rathalos wants to eat my head. He just wants to come in and swoop me up and just chomp off my goddamn head.
No, that's all right. Your head's a pretty big meal, so that's all right.
You'll be hearing the podcast broadcasted through my throat hole.
just gurgling, yeah. One assist trophy that made me laugh was Nikki from the... I forgot what the app was called on the 3DS.
My God.
What was it? It was...
Yeah, the Nintendo Mailbox.
Nintendo Mailbox, yeah, but it got...
Letterbox.
It got banned because pedophiles were using it, but... Yeah, that was pretty funny seeing her. She's just drawing like a bullet bill. Be interesting to see what other things she draws, just like things from Nintendo.
Is it weird to say that like I'm glad that they didn't forget about her?
Yeah, because she was fun, I guess.
I liked that app.
Yeah, so did I. It was a great app. It's just unfortunately it was used by the wrong people for the wrong reasons. Like it was because I remember because I have like 50 friends on my 3DS, so from the Aussie Nintendo community at the time, and I was just getting all these dumb pictures, whatever. Like every day I'd go on and check it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's what I love about Smash Bros. Like this, like not only do they celebrate their history, and then there's just like awesome throwbacks to, things like the bloody messaging app on the 3DS. Like,
it's just a celebration of everything Nintendo. It is, without pun, the ultimate celebration of Nintendo.
Yeah.
That is expanded over time now, like with characters like Cloud and stuff like that coming in. But Cloud series has also had history on Nintendo. It was obviously huge. It started off on NES. We had Final Fantasy there, and like it's a celebration from as early as the Famicom.
Yeah.
All the way up until now, and like you've got to appreciate that.
Yeah, I even heard them when they were talking about Simon Belmont. They actually brought up Symphony of the Night, which is a PlayStation 1 game as well.
Yeah, yeah. Because they're not afraid to not mention that.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Like with Cloud, they said he's from Final Fantasy 7. It's like, what platform's that on? No, they're just like, we don't know. It wasn't one of ours.
I'm actually kind of hoping that I'm kind of hoping that like as part of a bargain deal, they're like, you know what, you can have Final Fantasy VII on the Switch, just like because they put out a remastered port of that a while ago.
Yeah, like
just give us that. That'd be nice.
I think it'd be worthwhile. I think Square Enix, especially after Octopath Traveler, I think it's pretty obvious that it will do well for them because Final Fantasy VII and Symphony of the Night have never been on a Nintendo platform.
Yeah,
like Symphony of the Night, I think only made it to like PS3, like on the classics line, and like Xbox Live Arcade back on the 360 years ago. But apart from that, like hasn't really got any love.
No, but my worry, my genuine concern is that at least with Square Enix, I know this to be true. My genuine concern there is Square Enix, sometimes they just don't really care, and like they just don't care. They like I don't even know how to describe it, but
No, you did it pretty well. They just, they don't give a shit. Or they just don't understand, I think. It's more to it sometimes.
There's so many great games that come out of that company. You look at like Kingdom Hearts and stuff, and you've got the ongoing Final Fantasy series, and like Final Fantasy 15 for me was like such an incredible game. But that game was underfunded in the end and was forced out like crazy. It was dumped and rebuilt from the ground up like 3 times. It took 10 years to come out, and Square Enix is just like the team that finished the game were like, we want more time to finish this because this could be an incredible game. They're like, nah, just release it as it is. And so we got an unfinished game for that.
Well, they're a company. They got deadlines. They got whatever. But it is always...
It's not deadlines for them. That game was in development for 10 years. You can't defend that.
No way. No.
And that's not the current team's fault. A lot of people slandered that game because it wasn't as good as they wanted it to be because it was in development for 10 years. But the dev team for that game were fantastic. Yeah. You know, they tried their hardest, and they made a great product.
Square Enix just reminds me of me in high school. Like, it's like, all right, guys, you got 10 years to make a video game. Go at it. You're like, oh, sweet. It's like, oh, I've got 10 years. I've got plenty of time. You know, you just... procrastinate. It's like 5 years go by. So you got that game. Oh shit! All right, start scribbling on a piece of paper.
see, my worry for it in the end, I think, is like, I would love to see the classic Final Fantasy VII come out on a Nintendo platform, just to be like, hey, you know what? It's there. Every Final Fantasy prior to that was on a Nintendo console. Mm-hmm. With Cloud's representation in Smash, totally want it there, but I feel like it's held by the reins of PlayStation so hard, especially with the remake coming out. I don't think we're going to get it, which sucks, because with Smash being such a celebration of like of just gaming history for the most part.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd like the game on there, even if it's just for the sake of that. But you know, it's Square Enix will be Square Enix. I can't say too much for Konami. Is it Konami that makes Castlevania? Yeah. I don't know. I'm in head spins about that. I think they will probably be more open to it, but again, it's been on a PlayStation console, so I don't know how much reign PlayStation have over that decision.
I mean, it's coming first to PlayStation 4. It is still coming to Xbox One, so I guess they have a limited time sort of deal, then that's whatever Square Enix want to do.
I guess so. Yeah. And Konami.
Yeah. Who knows what Konami want to do? Yeah. I'm surprised they're even in this game, to be honest.
Before we move on, we've got a couple more comments left in this weekly topic.
Yep. Go for
it. So we will go through the last couple ones, and then we can move on to the last part of the direct, pretty much. Yeah. There was a quick discussion about music. It says Smash is... it also saw a tweet that says Smash is just Spotify in disguise. Metadocs posted that.
Spotify in disguise. So what does that mean? That you can like look at your Blink-182 and stuff on there too?
No, it's just like, hey, look, you bought an $80 game to be given 900 tracks of music to listen to. Keep it in your handbag.
In your handbag.
Delfino Durians posted, I'm seeing some Geno support crop up. This is, you know what? I'm not even gonna hold up the cards anymore. I think Geno could be a thing.
Yeah, I think they're just going through the list of just all like
all these characters that people wanted.
Yeah, the top 6 like ridiculous Reddit shit people want in the game. So we got Ridley. We got K. Rool. It's like, who's next?
Yeah. Like, I would not deny it at this point. I would not deny it. It's actually... it's insane what today has proved. There was also Jamie again, and he said, I didn't think K. Rool was possible, but they did it. Geno was a lot harder due to being a Square character before it merged into Square Enix. And I agree with that statement, but if they can pull K. Rool back from the dead, which was a rare asset, which is now owned by Microsoft.
Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible anymore.
Well,
I don't think anything is impossible.
to be anything, nothing's going to surprise me anymore after Cloud. I think Cloud was the most like out of left field thing.
The batshit crazy thing.
Because he was a Square Enix character. He was, he's an icon for PlayStation. He was an icon for PlayStation for years and years, and he still is. You look back at the PlayStation 1, he's almost the icon of the PlayStation 1, apart from Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and characters like that.
He's the icon of JRPGs.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah.
Like, if you think of JRPGs, one of the first things that pops in your head is Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII.
If not, yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how, and Sephiroth for that matter. It doesn't matter if you've never touched a Final Fantasy game in your life. It doesn't matter if you don't know much about JRPGs. If you type in what are JRPGs in Google, there will be reference images of Cloud Strife. Like,
yeah, it's
crazy.
Men with swords and spiky hair, as seen in Exhibit A.
Famous video game swords. You'll get the Buster Sword. Like, it's there.
Yeah. So we'll go to where they shown off the menu system for the new Smash. It's a menu, looks nice. You can go and have a look. I dare say you've seen it anyway. But I want to talk about the bit that they have crossed out, basically ready for an announcement for another Direct down the line this year. I guess the easiest conclusion to come to is that it's like a story mode or something like that.
I actually think it'll be another mini game.
You reckon just like another Smash the Targets or Home Back Run or something?
Yeah, I don't think at this point that. I mean, they could prove me wrong. Again, I'm not surprised if they do. I think the general consensus is it'll be some sort of party minigame mode. I don't think it'd be Subspace 2. I'd love it to be Subspace 2 because it's just free content, right? Like, I liked Subspace. I don't care if it took me a long time to play.
I mean, I think it has to be something big and exciting enough to be like, okay, we're teasing this and we will be showing this again. Like,
maybe.
A part of me, like, my common sense says like it won't be another story mode, but at the same time, I think with the limits like these guys are trying to push with the characters, the stages, the music, I think they, if you just go on Reddit, you can see that people want like another juicy story mode. Like, as many problems as Brawl's Subspace had, I think it had a lot of awesome qualities, such as it
has so much charm.
Yeah, well, just the way like the cutscenes and you see the characters interact. I think that's one of the most exciting things about any crossover, whether it's Marvel, DC, and Smash Brothers. I think it's just seeing how the characters interact, seeing Bowser and Ganondorf sort of team up, and seeing Pit and Mario how they interact, and Pikachu and Samus. Mm-hmm. I think having this many characters, sort of, and being able to see how they interact, would be really great. I don't see. I don't know if they'll be able to do it with 70 so characters. Like, it's that.
Yeah, that's the thing that's got me labeled down as it's not.
Yeah.
As it's not something like that.
But I think it will be something significant, and I think it will be something like single player. Like, it's got to be big enough to be on the main menu, but at the same time, they put Smash Tour on the front of the Wii U version, and Smash Tour was
garbage.
Yeah, like garbage. Yeah.
It was literal garbage. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of high hopes. I feel like the reason they were like, because they're going to sit down and they're going to have a 15-minute discussion about how this game is played.
Yeah, well,
I think there's got to be a disappointment in there somewhere.
I can imagine they're just like, all right, they just like reveal it. It's just like how to play. It's just it's just the movie that like it shows you like press A 3 times to do a kick, punch, and a kick or whatever.
No, dude, you know what I like most about the main menu screen right now, honestly?
What's that, the notifications?
It's that sidebar. Yeah. That sidebar is going to be handy as hell, because by the looks of it, that's how you receive your invites and stuff like that. You don't have to go into some convoluted thing. You can just go and accept an invite that's in your sidebar. You can change your controller settings right there. You don't have to go into the options menu, then go into the vault and all that bullshit where they hit it before. There's obviously a friends list there, so you can see who's online and you can invite people from there. I think that thing's going to be handy.
Yeah, they've got another blurred out section in that menu too.
Yeah, so, I'm not too sure what that's about.
Probably something to do with the online, is it? Oh no, they've
see.
got a big online section at the bottom there. So yeah, so what they've got Smash, they've got games and more, Vault online, and the crossed out green section.
The crossed out thing.
Yeah.
I just think that sidebar like solves a lot of issues where it's like, because I'm hoping that once you're connected to the Wi-Fi with that game, I'm hoping that it's just, you don't have to go and press online just to connect to a separate server like it was in Brawl.
God,
Brawl in Wii U.
Yeah, like the Wii's online, you don't have to worry about it being like that. But
yeah, I don't want to have to do that. I want to be like, hey, look, somebody just sent me an invite. I can accept the invite from the thing, and it'll ditch me into a private match with them, and I could go. I would actually play the online more then. Do you know what I'm saying?
Probably makes you go to the phone app, accept it, go back to your game. Then you have to go back to the phone app, press voice chat.
No, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they've learnt their lesson pretty quickly.
I'll be interested to see how the online does go for this game, because like even Smash Wii U, I felt like it was fine, but it still wasn't fluid enough for me to be like confident enough to go online.
Yeah, I guess so. I think I like playing Smash online. Just
I do too, but
yeah.
It's just
yeah. I think well, let's put it this way. I think they've learned pretty quickly. I think they've learned pretty quickly that the app isn't going to work.
I hope so.
Well, I mean, it's not in ARMS. That came out before it. It was in Splatoon.
It's only in Splatoon.
That's it. Like, I could see uses for it, sure. If you let me link to it, sure, I'll take it. I can check my stats on my phone. That's cool. I like that. That's good. Do I want to invite players with it? Absolutely not.
It's a great option, but having it forced is just crap.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be forced. It doesn't need to be forced. If you want to protect children from online play and all that stuff, just have the parental app do that. You don't need to have your invites go through your cell phone for literally every person.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. All right, Bryce. So we'll move on to the last announcement. This was the
last big thing.
So they said goodbye, whatever. Then you're just like, oh, no, there's another character coming. There's something coming, surely. So we see Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, and at this point I was just like, oh my god.
I immediately, as soon as I saw DK shut his yawny ass mouth, I knew exactly what it was. And you know why I knew exactly what it was?
Because this is the ultimate Smash Bros. And we have the ultimate character.
because I did the same thing with the Ridley trailer.
Yeah.
I saw Samus walking in front of everybody else on that catwalk, and I knew. I was just like, they actually did it. There's nobody else in Metroid that could be there. It's definitely Ridley. And it was the same thing with Donkey Kong. Like, who else are you going to put in there? The mask from Tropical Freeze?
You put in Cranky Kong, or... No, put in Funky Kong. That would have been a cool echo.
I think a lot of people were like, oh, it's Dixie Kong. But that doesn't warrant an announcement at the end of Smash Bros. Direct.
Yeah.
That's like an echo for Diddy Kong. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, she's got all the moves of her hair and that. She could be a fairly unique character, but...
Yeah, but I don't think it's like end of direct. Wow,
no, it's
worthy.
No.
Like, you look at it from the perspective of how they announced Ridley. They did it the exact same way. And then as soon as I saw these two monkeys lazing about with nothing to do,
just the way they sort of did it versus King Dedede, like. faking him out basically. And then K. Rool just comes up from behind and smashes him away. I thought that was great. Just the way they're sort of like not really trolling you, but sort of mucking around with you.
I just like when I saw it, I had to laugh because DDD did that stupid crying laugh thing face that I just love so much. But I was just like, I know that he's going to get the shit slapped out of him, and he did. And just thanks Nintendo for proving me wrong on 2 characters after years of saying it's not going to happen.
So who's the next one they're going to prove you wrong with?
God, Waluigi probably.
I mean, they've already got him in as an assist trophy, so they're going to have to. They're going to have to retroactively look at the feedback and be like, okay, we're doing him as DLC.
They're going to change it because they're looking very closely at it, and people are still bitching. Again, I think this is Sakurai's curtain call. I think he's done after this. I think there's nothing he could possibly do to make this game any better. That's why he's made all the extra effort to make sure that all these characters are in. I think the Waluigi will end up in there. I think the next announcement will get Banjo. Wouldn't be surprised.
You reckon?
I think so. Maybe not next next announcement, but I am so convinced that man has the influence to put anything in a Smash Bros game.
Yeah.
And they've already talked several times in the past about Banjo being in there from like different developers, all that shit. They're just like, I'd love to see Banjo in there or whatever. And then you had Phil Spencer, who runs the company that owns the damn series right now. He's like, I would love to see Banjo in Smash. I think like just stuff like that just makes me go, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if any of this shit happens now.
Yeah, I guess the only interesting thing is that there's been no Western third-party characters ever to appear in Smash Bros. So if it were to happen, it would be a first for the series, which would be great, obviously.
They were in the Smash polls though.
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie were in the Smash polls, and they were actually up pretty high. So Ridley and K. Rool were in this. They are using that Smash poll. They are that data is old as shit, but they are definitely using it because they know what Smash fans are like. They don't give up.
Yeah.
You know they're using that data, so it would not surprise me if we see Banjo and Kazooie in Smash by the next time it happens. Whether it'll be classic-looking Banjo or whether it'll be current-looking Banjo, don't know, don't care. If they're in Smash, I'll be happy. What else is on that list? There was like several characters on that list that like they had the data graph of it would be better. Geno, obviously. Geno wouldn't surprise me. I think K. Rool kicked it for me. K. Rool kicked that bucket for me.
He killed you, like
because, well, no, he that like we talk about Geno being lost as a Square asset. K. Rool was lost as a Rare asset.
Yeah.
You know, he's gone. He's no longer a thing they're using in games because it's a Rare asset. It was hard enough to get Donkey Kong 64 back from Rare as it was to put on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Yeah. I mean, but was he a lost asset? Because they still sell Donkey Kong Country and like the 3 games and all that on
Donkey Kong Country, yeah. But I mean, like they have that name, but whether they have all the assets, because they don't use Kremlings in Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
Like the new ones.
Well, not the new one, but like they still sell the Virtual Console games, the old ones on the NES or the SNES.
Yeah, well, they had to fight for them because they're Rare assets. Like they're Rare developed, so you know it took them ages to get Donkey Kong 64 back. That game was huge for the Nintendo 64.
Yeah,
that was such a big game. Like, anyway, back to the original point in the topic, I guess. K. Rool, I didn't think it'd happen.
I didn't even think about K. Rool, to be honest. Like, like I'm happy K. Rool's in there, but like as a character for my like own personal like happiness or whatever, like I really don't care, to be honest, about King K. Rool. Like
I know. Well, yeah, that's you. I mean, I played all the Donkey Kong Country games at some point in my youth. I played Donkey Kong 64. I knew who K. Rool was.
I mean,
I thought he was a decent bad guy. I just knew he wasn't going to happen.
yeah, like I've played like 1 and 2 and like a bit of 3, but yeah, you know, be fun.
It's just something ingrained, especially as a kid that loved Rare.
Yeah, no, true.
I loved Rare games
You're
to
like
death.
up Rare's ass, yeah.
I fucking love Rare's old games. It was so good. But just that was something that I had been convinced had been lost to time. I didn't think we were going to get K. Rool back. They got Donkey Kong Country back and all that, and K. Rool was in them as virtual console games. Recreating the asset and reusing it, didn't think it was going to happen. I thought that, hey, you know, they kind of bit the bullet. They're like, well, we're lucky enough to have these games back. Let's just leave it at that. When we make a new Donkey Kong, we'll start with a new enemy and we'll go from there. Because you would think King K. Rool be the Bowser of the series.
Yeah, I mean,
He'd become.
I'm looking
that.
forward to using him, using his cannon, using his like big like stomp, just puts him into the ground, like similar to what Donkey Kong does, and looking forward to playing around.
I think it's going to be cool, and that trailer was awesome.
Yeah. It was funny, like just having the emotion in Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, how they like the eyeballs like jumped through the window when they saw him, and all I could think about was that stupid cartoon you showed me, the Donkey Kong Country show or cartoon or whatever it's called.
The Donkey Kong Country
I mean, Bryce just brought this up to me like the other weekend. But if you got
when we're at AFCON,
what's it called, so people can go and Google it.
It's just Donkey Kong Country. It's the television
You just write
show.
Donkey Kong Country cartoon show into YouTube and just admire it. You can't. I can't even describe it.
Hey yo. Here comes Donkey Kong.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It was something different.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb.
Because we watched a dorky video on it. We're like, oh, Bryce, put on an actual episode. We got halfway through the episode. I'm like, all right, not funny anymore. This is just rubbish.
It's revolting. Yeah. It's terrible.
So any last points before we wrap the episode up?
Yes. My last point. This game, if this does not appease the Smash Bros fans that are currently complaining about, or have been complaining for years about really stupid shit,
yeah,
then I don't know what else you could give them.
Well, does it appease you, Mr. Big Smash Bros fan?
Dude, it appeases. I'm happy with just about every Smash Bros game that comes out. Like, does that say I'm a blind and loyal fan? Probably. Is that for the wrong reasons? No, I appreciate Smash. I think it's like the ultimate crossover game, and I think Smash has a massive influence in the gaming community. I don't think all of the decisions that they've done with Smash is right. I think random tripping is still bullshit. I think Smash Tour was just god awful, and I absolutely hated it. But every iteration of Smash has given me something to look forward to. No. And Smash Ultimate is literally, again, without pun, the ultimate experience so far. We've got stuff that people have been begging for years coming to the game. Stuff that I thought was lost to time. Or to obscurity, like Ridley being too big and all of that. I'd been saying it for years. But, you know what? They're putting him in there.
They're making it happen, yeah.
So, they're making it happen. So, if all my Smash dreams come true within the next, couple of weeks, and I'm like, hey, look, it's a Xenoblade representative, and we get Banjo-Kazooie in the game, and, expect
Waluigi
70 more DLC characters.
70 more.
So that we can, fulfill literally everybody's dreams. It wouldn't surprise me. anything is a go at this point. Smash Bros Ultimate. I'm looking so forward to that game. It's driving me mental. I've been playing Smash 3DS to circumvent it. It's obviously not doing its job. It's fun, and I'm getting Smash time. But God, I just want to play this game so bad.
Like, I got this out of my system now. I've done the podcast. I've talked to you. I just got to stop thinking about Smash now.
No, you just have to play. You just have to pick up Wii U or 3DS again. That's
still such a long way away. I just can't think about the new one.
I know. It hurts me too.
All right, Bryce. Where can we find you on the Twitter?
On the Twitter is at IVRevan, and Twitch is the same. Twitch.tv/IVRevan.
Awesome. Yeah, because you changed it. Yeah, you sneaky bastard.
I did. I changed my handle to match the Twitch handle. So, yeah.
Well, look, you got the same experience everywhere. You can find me at iDruby on Twitter, and you can find the show at the House of Mario. Be sure to jump into the Discord if you haven't already. We've got an awesome community there, which we read on the show as well. If you feel so inclined, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, whatever you want to call it.
Apple Podcast Tunes.
Apple Podcast Tunes. And if you don't use Apple products or have an Apple account, just the word of mouth is fine on Twitter, social media, or just tap your friend at school on the shoulder and go, "Oi, the House of Mario is a podcast."
Mario.
Yeah, exactly like Bryce did. And we are a member of the 8-Bit Collective, 10 awesome podcasts and 22 awesome podcasters putting podcast content into your ears. Man, it's late, man. It's like it's 20 to 2 in the morning.
It is 20 to 2, but we had to talk about Smash.
No, definitely, yeah.
It's a part of us.
Yeah, it really is. It actually kind of is.
It's a little bit sad, guys.
Like I love Nintendo to death, and like Smash Brothers is like a burning part of that passion. Especially these years where we've got like a lead up to a brand new game. So, yeah,
for sure.
All right, guys. So this week's Nintendo Jukebox is Metroid Prime 4 Dark Samus remix. It's a fan-made remix by Retrospector, who we have featured on the show before.
Retrospector,
yep.
Boy.
So it's awesome. Go and check it out. There's links in the show notes to all of that stuff, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.